Hey guys, what's up? It's Mike again from Infinite Insights. I'm glad to have you guys all back here. And before I get into the video, I just want to ask you guys to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, comment down below if you have any future suggestions for videos or if you have any comments about this video. But in today's video, we're going to talk about anxiety. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this topic today was because I was on Twitter and I'm trying to grow my following there. And I had someone DM me today and they were telling me about how excuse me, how they suffer from anxiety disorder. And I was talking them through a bunch of techniques and things that and programs that he could look at and things that he could start implementing today. And it just made me realize like so many people suffer from anxiety today. And anxiety is not like a new thing. You know, anxiety has been around for God knows how long, could be as long as humans have existed, right? But I think especially now with the pandemic and everyone being inside. And I know obviously it's loosening up in some areas, but I think being removed from people has actually made social anxiety worse because the more isolated you are, the less practice you have with engaging with other people, right? Doesn't matter if they're like-minded or not, just the simple practice of talking to someone, talking to a stranger, right? Or speaking in front of a group. Like if you're at school and you had to give a presentation, it's just different when you're doing it over Zoom or you're not doing it at all, right? And so anxiety is something that a lot of people struggle with. And I used to struggle with anxiety a lot myself. So I want to address what anxiety really is. And when you think about it, what anxiety is at its core is it's a worry or it's a fear about either something that happened in your past, like regretting a decision and thinking about it and stressing about it. You could have anxiety in that way, focusing on the past, or you could have anxiety about the future, about something that hasn't happened yet, about a meeting you have to go to, about a test that you have to take, or just personal expectations that you set on yourself that you judge yourself for not living up to, right? So anxiety in a nutshell is a diverting of attention from the present moment. You're either contemplating the past and worrying about it, or you're contemplating the future and you're worrying about that. You're basically worrying and fearing something that is not directly happening to you right now in the present moment. So when we make this clear and we realize this for ourselves, right? It's not enough for me to just say this to you. You need to actually realize this, right? You have to realize what anxiety actually is for yourself, right? You have to feel the feelings in your body. That's another thing. It's bodily sensation as well. It's not just a thought, right? Or an idea. There's a physical reaction that comes along with anxiety, right? It's not just mental, it's physical. So next time anxiety comes up for you, doesn't matter if you're worrying about the past or the future or something that might be happening right now that you're not having a direct experience of. That's another form of anxiety, is that you might be thinking that something is happening to you, like someone is talking about you right now, but you don't know because you're not in their presence, right? So it's basically fear or escape from the present moment. It's an escape from the present moment. It's an uncomfortability with just being in the here and now. That's really what anxiety is. And because there's so much stimulus nowadays, there's countless TV programs, there's countless social media distractions, there's countless video games, right? There's so much stimulation that you can get from literally not even leaving your own room, right? You don't even have to leave your own room, and you can get basically unlimited stimulation through different devices. So all of these things are diverting our attention away from just being alone and just being present, just being aware of our bodily sensations, because everything is so visual, and it takes your visual attention, and the more your visual attention gets like sucked into these devices, the more the awareness of your other senses get taken as well. You stop focusing on your body, you stop focusing on the sounds in your room. Like if you have, a refrigerator near you and you hear the buzzing of the refrigerator, you're not hearing that anymore because you're consumed with some kind of video, some kind of stimulus, right? So anxiety, again, it's pulling your attention away from the here and now. So how do we cope with anxiety? Well, the first thing I want to say is that you don't want to beat yourself up about it. You don't want to realize that you have this anxiety and then say, I'm not good enough, and kind of go down the rabbit hole even further, because that's just going to lead to more anxiety. The more negativity that you bring up about your anxiety, the more that it's going to spiral out of control, right? So my advice to you is that when you realize you're feeling this anxiety, just accept it and go into the anxiety, investigate it, try to figure out, why am I feeling anxious right now? What is it that's diverting my attention away from the present moment? Because it is something. Because anxiety doesn't just come up randomly when you're sitting alone in a room with no stimulus, right? Unless you're having thoughts about, the past or the future, right? So even if that's the case, try to figure out, well, what kind of thoughts am I having? Am I thinking about, that time in school where, I was getting bullied? Am I thinking about the future? Am I thinking about, what's going to happen if I can't pay my rent? What if I don't have enough money to pay my rent, right? So it's basically mind games. And those mind games turn into bodily sensations. They activate kind of tightness and constriction in the body. So the more you can open up your body, that will help as well with anxiety. Another thing that I find very helpful is your breathing. Focus on your breathing when you're feeling these feelings of anxiety. Breathe in through your nose, right? Breathe in through your nose and then out through your mouth, right? That's one way of doing it. Or an even better way, breathe in through your nose and then breathe back out through your nose. Because when we're only using our nose to breathe, that's basically technically the most efficient way to breathe. That's the best way for our lungs to get the best kind of air, essentially, because there's some CO2 involved when you're only using your nose. And some CO2 is actually okay for you. So, and when you're breathing through your mouth, you're not you're not getting any CO2 whatsoever. It's only oxygen. So when you're breathing through your nose, you're getting a little bit of carbon dioxide, which is actually even better for your lungs instead of just pure oxygen. So, and if you don't believe me, just do it yourself. Just breathe exclusively through your nose, and make sure they're deep breaths too. They're not like quick, short breaths, like, right? They're deep breaths. They're, right? You're breathing from your diaphragm, from the base of your spine. So, and you'll instantly feel like, oh, okay, like a little bit more relaxed. You literally try it out, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So that's another great way to cope with anxiety, is just focus on your breath. Make sure it's nice and smooth and it's deep as well. So, and when you're doing that, what is that doing, right? It's bringing you back to the present moment. It's grounding you in your experience, your present experience, right? It's getting you away from the future thoughts and the past thoughts and the what if thoughts, or what's happening right now, what am I missing out on? That's another form of anxiety, is the FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. So, and these are all just nonstop thoughts that are causing you to feel this weird bodily sensations. It's causing you to react in weird ways and tighten up and feel uncomfortable, and so focus back on the breath. Bring it back to the breath, and you'll return to the present moment, and you'll realize, you know what, I am okay. I am okay. And another wrinkle is keep thinking positively. That's the best way to counteract negativity, is just say, no, I've had enough. I've had enough negativity, and I'm going to just focus on the positive. Even if it's for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, focus on the positive. Bring yourself back to the present. Become mindful, right? Observe your surroundings. What is going on in your present space? Are you outside? Are you inside? Are there people around you? Are there noises? Are there people talking? Are there animals, right? Start to observe your environment, and get out of the constant chatter in your mind. That's another great way to basically eliminate anxiety, because you can't have anxiety when you're focused on, direct experience, what's going on right now, because your awareness is focused, right? You could only put your awareness on basically one thing at a time. So when you're putting your awareness on the future, you're putting your awareness on the past, it's only that. It's only the future. It's only the past. You don't have time for anything else. In fact, you cannot be aware of anything else. Awareness is single-minded. It's like a beam. It's like a laser beam. So when you take your awareness and you shift it back to the present, and you start focusing on, what's around you, what's going on around you, you're going to stay there, because awareness can only really be in one place at one time, essentially. And again, if you don't believe me, actually, try this out, right? Try to become present. Try to see, where is my awareness going, right? Become accountable for your awareness. So I think I gave you guys a lot of good tips in this video. I think you get the gist of how to cope with anxiety. And if there's anything that I didn't cover, if there's anything I left out, comment down below. Let me know. I'd love to get a conversation started and get some different perspectives on these topics, because that's only going to help you guys out, and it's going to help me out make better videos in the future. And this channel is, yes, this is my passion, this is what I want to do, professionally. But really, it's about you guys. The only reason that I made this channel really is to help people, to help you guys, to help my subscribers, to raise the consciousness of this planet, to raise the awareness, raise the frequency. And that might sound like an abstract thing, but really what that means is going from fear and anxiety and hate and despair, and going up to kindness, generosity, love, right? These kind of higher consciousness values. So that's really what my goal is with this channel. So if you guys want to add anything, comment on anything, let me know, right? So that's going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys soon.